II, clothing was greatly influenced by limited quantities of fabrics, threads, and needles, so the most popular look was a simple outfit using as little as possible of those much in demanded resources. When the war ended, a larger quantity of these resources were available, and it allowed a new type of fashion to bloom. Style of clothing became an important part of culture in the 1950s. In department store catalogs, to compile the section of fashion, marketing was geared towards women. Description of clothing included certain fashionable looks that would help women please their men or get a husband. Women were sold on a specific body shape that would best fit the latest fashions. The shape was a thin waist with defined hips and larger but very defined and shapely bust. This was a lot of pressure on women during this time. Corsets, controllers, bustier tops, bras, and bust paddings helped create a cone-like shape for busts. Women's clothing for the first time could be sorted into housework, going to run errands, maternity wear, party appropriate clothing, and for middle class women, work uniforms. Men fashion were very little throughout the decade. Choices were suits, sport coats, slacks, sweaters, casual wear, and similar fabrics and styles. Business clothing remained unchanged, and work clothing for laborers usually was in the style of.
The ideal beauty in the 1960s were twiggy. The men wore long hair, scrawny, feminine, rocker charm. The women were thin, elegant, and fashionable, rail thin, and there were diverse trends. But the 1960s also broke in many fashion trends. The new trends were go-go boots, box shape, PV dresses, colutes, and for the male it was tighter pants, scarves, more or less dressing like the Beatles.
In the 1970s, wearing clothes was more about individual expression than it was about fitting in. But this does not mean high fashion wasn't valued. Accessories worn on the runway were made into more radical designs. Trends included bell-bottom pants, tunics, pantsets, leisure suits, and overalls, exotic prints, polyester fabrics, checks, bright colors, embroidered details, satin, corduroy, or velvet textures. Individualism and self-expression were important for men and women, no matter how much money the person made. Here are more trends. Hippie styles, power clothes were worn by working women and included lines of suits. Men's fashion included suits and dress shirts that were still popular. Many suit jackets had flared collars, and the pants also became flared. Plaid, hound stuff, and checks were often in suit sets. Brighter colors were popular as well. For casual wear, sweaters, t-shirts, denim, and jumpsuits. Other styles associated with disco proved popular as well.
The ideal beauty in the 1980s were the bigger and bolder the better. Big hair, big shoulders, and over the top makeup. For women, it was more or less spandex leggings, crop football player shirts, floral patterns, neon, ripped sweatshirts, fanny packs, beard earrings, oversized clothes, and beauty idea was between overdone and unkempt.
In the 1990s, it was the beginning of the rejection of fashion. This led to the popularization of the casual chic look that included t-shirts, jeans, hoodies, and trainers. Streetwear was in and couture was on its way out. Modern working women needed to dress in a more practical and efficient way. They were supposedly equal to the man. Men and women dressed in a similar style. Fashion had more to do with expressing yourself than the old-fashioned proper way to dress like a lady or a gentleman. You could have a messy and casual grunge look, be punk, hippie, goth, be clean, modern, preppy, smart casual, business casual, be playful, colorful, and oversized hip hop style, or wear flashy fashion statements. The choice was yours. The 90s featured many styles never publicly accepted before. It added a new twist to the ideal of beauty with its anti-fashion mix and match clothing, silky hats, platform shoes, and it was the start of the tattoo and piercing trend. In the beauty department, makeup and hair trends dictated that the skin appear matte and flawless. Eyebrows were defined and super thin. Noses were very narrow and small. Both men and women started to cut their hair short. The 90s was really big on skinny, short skirts, crop tops, belly button piercings, the braless look, and large knockers. So the pressure of having the perfect bust, slender long legs, a flat tummy, and abs was huge.
The ideal beauty in the 2000s are it's the biggest change in sexualization. Mixed girls, long curly wavy hair. Most women go for tan skin. It's more or less the fake look. Most women are rounder, but it is also an unrealistic body shape. So it varies between skinny, thin, thicker, rounder, and men are more buff, taller, and tighter clothes are what's hot and name brand clothes.